is the DA. And when I say the DA is a Zionist, racist, neoliberal party, doesn't mean that in the DA, everybody in the DA is racist. Doesn't mean that at all. So I was referring to a political party and not an individual, but I can understand what...
Honourable Dirks, you may continue with your
debate.
debate.
I'm continuing with my debate. I can understand what will happen here today. I will be interrupted continuously, but with frivolous point of orders here, just to disrupt my debate, because some people do not want to hear the truth here. We cannot pursue economic expansion through purposeful provincial government-led industrialization via this so-called budget. With this expenditure and revenue collection statement, we cannot develop and grow the productive forces of our economy in a manner that will guarantee full employment and create conditions for common and full prosperity for all the people of KZN. This expenditure and revenue collection statement will not fight poverty and reduce inequalities in KZN. The very same outcomes that the MEC for Finance is trying to prevent from happening with these budget cuts will result in exactly what he's trying to prevent from happening, which is over-expenditure and unauthorized expenditure. The two most critical departments in this province is education and health. This kind of budget will destroy whatever is left of these two departments. The allocation to education is shocking and disgraceful. It is the African child in the province of KwaZulu-Natal who will suffer the consequences of this DA neoliberal budget. It is clear that the DA does not care about black votes. They only care about black people's votes. They do not care about black people. It is criminal that the finances of this province are being decided upon by a 13% on behalf of the majority. During the budget hearings, it was clear that with the current budget allocations to education, that it will not be able to meet 5 of its 6 priorities. As Umkhonto weSizwe, we are not going to support a nonsense budget that will result in over-expenditure and unauthorized expenditure. The MEC can come at the end of this debate and hurl insult at us for raising these issues. But 6 months from now, this department, the education department, will have incurred unauthorized and over-expenditure. The media and the people of KZN must take note that what we are saying here today as Umkhonto weSizwe will be proven correct. Madam Speaker, as Umkhonto weSizwe, we want to bring it to your attention and inform the people of KwaZulu-Natal that the looting at the health department is unprecedented. Now, the chief whip of the legislature, not the chief whip of a political party like myself, the chief whip of the legislature, came here and he presented a factual report, very objective report of the state of the province and the over-expenditure, the nepotism and everything that's happening in this province. He gave a general, broad overview. But Madam Speaker, allow me to give some of the details of what that Honourable Speaker's report actually speaks about. Madam Speaker, as Umkhonto weSizwe, we want to say that the use of consultant by the health department in order to facilitate looting must stop. Cannot appoint consultants in that health department in order to loot. And the MEC of Finance knows exactly, sorry, the MEC of Health knows exactly what I'm talking about. It is unacceptable that the CFO of Health appoints a consulting company that he resigned from 10 days before the closing date of the bid. The CEO is the chairperson of the Bid Awards Committee, but decides to play musical chairs and went to go and sit on the Technical Evaluation Committee in order to ensure that the very same company of his gets shortlisted. Even the Provincial Tender Tribunal ruled against the CFO. But the MEC of Finance and the Premier are silent when it comes to corruption. The budget does not, this budget, Madam Speaker, does not demonstrate impatience and intolerance of corruption, fruitless, wasteful, and unauthorized expenditure. We have no moral leadership, political leadership in this DA-led provincial coalition. Madam Speaker, we have a premier who refuses to give leadership because of his fear of losing blue lights. Madam Speaker, we have a premier who's failing KZN. Madam Speaker, we have a premier who is presiding over a provincial government that is collapsing financially. Madam Speaker, the Honourable Ntuli has turned the office of the Premier into the King Ketswayo District Municipality. Madam Speaker, the nepotism that the report of the Chief Whip of the legislature spoke about, let me just point out some of the nepotisms. Madam Speaker, the appointments in the office of the Premier. The Director of Special Projects in Operation Sakuma is from King Ketswayo Municipality. Madam Speaker, the Director of HIV and AIDS are from King Ketswayo Municipality. This director has never physically reported for duty to the unit. In fact, the HIV and AIDS staff haven't even met her. The incumbent gets paid the salary of a director for HIV and AIDS without doing any duties related to that post. The acting chief director of human resources in the office of the Premier from King Ketswayo office again, the municipality again. This is the second person attached to one position. The unit already has a chief director who occupies this post for several years. The director of international relations, guess from where? From King Ketswayo Municipality. The Chief Director of Provincial Information Communication Technology in the office of this Premier, again from Umhlazi local municipality in the King Ketswayo Municipal District. Madam Speaker, the Deputy Director in the office of the Premier is the former municipal manager of the King Ketswayo District Municipality. Madam Speaker, no recruitment processes was followed in these appointments. The Speaker does as the Premier does as he pleases, and he doesn't care about employment processes. Madam Speaker, the fact of the matter is that we do not have a Speaker. We have a mayor masquerading as a Premier. We reject once again this nonsense budget. Madam Speaker, allow me to respond to some of the utterances of Honourable Kikia, Dr. Kikia, Honourable Dr. Kikia. Many public utterances and some of these utterances in this House. Madam Speaker, the MK party is not here to inherit the system. We are here to transform it. We do not owe loyalty to the colonial constitution or neo-liberal dogma. We are loyal only to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Our vision is not about defending elite institutions captured by capital. It is about building a sovereign, people-centered province rooted in justice, land, dignity, and economic freedom. Madam Speaker, Honourable Kika speaks of constitutionalism, while his own party worship a constitution that has failed to return land, failed to end poverty, and failed to dismantle the apartheid economic legacy. He accuses the MK party of lacking policy coherence, yet the DA's only real policy is to protect white privilege under the guise of law and order. As for the honourable members' comments, Madam Speaker, on internal party matters, the Honourable Dr. Kikia would do well to focus on the crumbling credibility of his own party, one that has lost the trust of both black and white South Africans and has now resorted to clinging to power by serving as junior partners in a coalition which the very ANC they once opposed. The MK party will continue to use the platforms available to it in this legislature, including Rule 130, to raise urgent national and provincial issues. We will continue to unsettle the comfort of the political establishment, this GPU. The comfort will unsettle it at all times. As I speak, we're on the streets. We are marching. We will unsettle. They will unsettle. We are going to take your head on. We are going to remove you all. Very, very soon we are going to remove you all. And yes, we will continue. And yes, Honourable Speaker, we will continue to chant Owesome. We'll continue to chant our slogan, because that is a call to action, to conscientize and to courage. The real fear behind Dr. Kikia's attack is not our slogans, but our momentum. It is not our past, but our future. And in that future, the DA is not leading, it is watching from the sidelines. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, in conclusion, let me just come here. Commanders, I think I need to speak Afrikaans so that these people, so they can understand. I need to speak Afrikaans so that this white establishment must understand what I'm saying. I must address them in full Afrikaans. Madam Speaker, there's this issue of the VAT. The DA, I'll make Honorable Madam Speaker, if through you with permission, if I can ask the Honorable Seme to explain during lunchtime to the MEC of Finance what is VAT. So can she explain to him? Now she'll explain to you. We'll make the young lady explain to you. Now, Honorable Speaker, the issue of VAT, the issue of VAT here, Madam Speaker, the fact of the matter is that if President Zuma did not launch Umkhonto we Sizwe on the 16th of December, 2023, the ANC was going to get 50 plus 1% in the elections. And today, on the May 1st, the people of South Africa was going to have a VAT increase of 1%. But it's because of the efforts of President Zuma that have saved the people of South Africa. It is not the noises of the DA that went to court. It's not. It is the fact that the ANC did not get the 51%, and the only party and the only person in this country that could have dropped the ANC below 50% was President Zuma. And when I was in the ANC, I warned them about it. I warned them about their behavior. And President Zuma came along and President Zuma dropped him. So South Africans must thank President Zuma because they were going to get a 2% increase without President Zuma. Viva Msholozi, viva! Amandla!